Hi guys, so we recently filmed our June garden tour, and in that video I said I wanted to come back out again, walk the property with you guys, and share some of my plans and my goals for this space this year and next year. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start in the backyard along the back fence because this I think is going to be the thorn in my side. So this is our back fence line right here. This is the end of the swale, and you can follow the swale up the backyard. You can kind of see that indent there. Right along the edge of the swale on this side all the way back to the fence, this is the area, the problem area that we've had with lesser celandine. And if you're unfamiliar with lesser celandine or you don't have it, be thankful. Lesser celandine, or commonly known as fig buttercup, is a highly invasive weed. It looks pretty, it comes out early spring, but it spreads like wildfire, and it spreads by tubers and rhizomes underground. So this whole area behind the swale and the fence turns into a blanket of yellow flowers and matted leaves that just keep growing, or foliage I should say. So I did come out here and I did spray it, but it doesn't really react well to organic sprays. It doesn't really get rid of it. It's one of those noxious invasive weeds that you have to use like glyphosate or triclopyr to get rid of, and those are broadleaf and they pretty much kill everything in their path, and I'm a little leery about doing that. So here's what I'm thinking. Initially, we thought we could smother this whole area by just laying cardboard all the way down and covering it all with mulch, but I did see a video on YouTube all about lesser celandine, and I actually will put a link in the description box because it was really helpful. I think what I would like to do or prefer to do is either remove the sod, if Mo and I actually have the energy to do that, because you know, removing sod is not fun. And or if we do or not remove the sod, I do plan on putting landscape fabric down over here to help smother the lesser celandine. It won't completely get rid of it, but if it does break through or it does pop up in other areas of the yard, it'll be in lesser amounts, no pun intended. It'll be in smaller amounts, and I can spot spray it with a chemical instead of trying to spray this entire area and damaging all of the shrubs that we've put in. So I'm thinking a layer of landscape fabric, some topsoil, some mulch, and then we'll kind of see what happens late winter, early spring, and if they start emerging, because remember, they were emerging in the swale too, we can just kind of spot treat them. So that's my idea for this whole back space over here, which leads into the butterfly garden, because what I would also like to do, or what I'm thinking about doing, is widening this bed about 2 or 3 feet out, maybe a little more, following the curve of the bed, and then swooping around to where the arborvitae hedge is and taking the bed all the way down to the walkway. Let's walk over here and I'll show you from the other side, because I think you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So from the fence line to the walkway is 4 feet, and the arborvitaes get anywhere between 3 to 4 feet. So eventually they will grow right along the edge. So what I'm thinking is we do the same thing all along here, remove the sod or smother it out all along the walkway here to the fence, and then as we get towards the natural curve of the walkway, we'll take the bed and just continue it out, curve it on down the lawn, follow the swoop of the butterfly garden and connect it right into here. And then possibly where the swale is, we may remove the sod here and put rock down instead. Similar to what we have in the butterfly garden, I think it would kind of be I think it would look pretty to have like a rock bed that leads all the way down to the swale, and then right behind it up to the fence line, it's all mulched over like a bed. And then next season we can come in and start planting a few more things, at least in this top section over here. Because remember, down towards the bottom here, this is the area that we have reserved for the shed. So not too much is going to happen over in this whole area until the shed is in here, because then once that structure's in there, I can kind of get a better gauge of what's going to happen with the light, which direction we're going to face the shed. Are we going to have it this way with the front facing towards the lawn and the back towards the fence, or are we going to shift it this way and the front will be facing the vegetable garden, the back will be facing the back fence? Also, depending on which way we face the shed, if we were to face it with the front this way, which I'm kind of more partial to, I would like to do a flagstone walkway that goes from, let me get over here real quick and show you. So from the front sidewalk here, I would like to put a flagstone pathway that goes straight along the sky pencil holly hedge, through the gate over here by the fig tree, right along the vegetable garden, and then have it kind of come through and curve with the lawn up towards the hill, but then have another little pathway that leads right to the front door of the shed. And then the pathway would continue all the way through the lawn, unless we figure out something to do here. And then just have it kind of curve up around the flower bed, the tree, and connect to this walkway right around here where the bend is. And maybe bring it down a little bit more, so if we're coming from this direction, let me get over here. So if we're coming up from this direction, I would like to be able to access the pathway from this direction and from that direction, or this direction. I also was thinking of if I could do something in the center of the lawn here, because you know, we would have like that grass pathway that kind of comes around a little bit, but I don't really know if I should do anything here or not. It would be fun to kind of have just like a circular area here and bring the fire pit right out here, so that way it would free up some of the space on the patio. Or maybe line the edges of the patio with boxwoods all around, and maybe just leave like a little area here so we have boxwoods that kind of frame the patio, a little space to walk out, and then more boxwoods. I don't know. So standing on the opposite side, right along the patio here, we would have boxwoods, maybe going all around this area, up to right before the curve of the walkway, all along here. Leave a little bit of a space so we could walk through, and then continue the boxwoods down along here and along the walkway right back through there. It's funny, in my head I can see it, I can picture it, but when I kind of try to explain it and I look at the area, I kind of get a little like, do I want to do this or not? I don't know. So those are just a few of the thoughts and plans that I would like to do. Those are a couple of the bigger projects that I would like to do. Whether or not they get done this year or next year, we'll see, but that's what I'm thinking. Now let's move over to the front yard, and I'll show you what I want to do with one of the front flower beds. So for point of reference, we're standing in the front yard. This is the fig tree over here. And then this is the front flower bed. We've got our buddleias and our limelight hydrangeas in the back. And in this bed, I know I've mentioned it before, but I would like to take from the edge of the brick here, remove the sod here, and then just take the bed edge out a little further, a couple feet, swoop it around about 2 feet from the porch, all the way down to the driveway, right here. Remove all the sod, and then I want to put a boxwood hedge in. A short boxwood hedge, green velvet boxwood hedge, about 2 feet tall, all the way around to the gate over here. And then on the bed, or in the bed, look how full that looks. Isn't that pretty? Actually, kind of like that. However, here's my thought. I'm thinking to leave a space here from the boxwood hedge, just leave a little gap right here and add some flagstones right through here to kind of create a little hidden path that eventually will lead to the front porch. So if you're looking at it from the front porch, the bed would be widened 2 feet out this way. We'll have boxwoods over here. These shrubs will be rehomed or removed. And then right from the edge of the porch, we'll have flagstones that kind of lead down and maybe a slight little bend out of the bed into the gate. So we'll be able to come off the front porch, go down through the bed, access the gate over there, or go through the lawn here, or go the other direction and right out to the driveway. That way this whole area can be hedge, but we still have a way out. And again, the boxwoods would only get 2 feet high. I would keep them shorn down to 2 feet. So even if we wanted to, we could hop over. Another thing I do want to bring to your all's attention too, let's go into the backyard here. So as some of you know, we had the fig tree treated early this spring for, oh God, I'm going to try and remember this, Phytophthora or Phytophthora. It is a fungus in the soil. It is a root rot type of a fungus that we had to treat systemically. And I came in here and cut out a couple huge trunks. You can see I had to remove a bunch of the dead wood and wood that had been damaged. But I spoke to the arborist and the company that came out and actually applied the systemic fungicide. Basically, they told me that the systemic fungicide is going to be absorbed into the tree. So any fruit production that happens this year, we have to toss. We can't eat it because it could potentially be contaminated. Now, here's where it gets a little dicey. They did tell me that we may have to treat this again next year, and we may have to treat it possibly annually, every year, in which case that would mean I have a fruit tree that is bearing fruit that I can't eat. And honestly, I don't want that. The whole purpose for me to have the fruit tree or the fig tree is because I enjoy the figs. I love figs. I grew up with fig trees all over this place. So the fact of just having the fig tree here, seeing it produce and not being able to enjoy them, yeah, no. So this tree, unfortunately, we may have to have it removed. And it breaks my heart because I planted this tree here probably over a decade ago, and it was just a tiny little thing. But the fact that it's sick, and if we're not going to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, then I would rather just get rid of it and maybe replace it with another raised bed and let some more sun come in here and focus on food production. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I'm not 100% sure which way we're going with it, but once we know, I'll let you know. If we do remove the fig tree, I would consider putting another raised bed in here. That way we have so much more sunlight coming through, and we'd have a complete wall full of raised garden beds for food production. And I kind of like that idea. Now let's head back over to the front yard where we planted the redbud trees. So this area right here, this is where we planted the 2 red buds. And this is the area that Mo spends a lot of time working on his truck and cars. So I can't really do too much in this area to block his path. So I don't really know like 100% what else I can do in this space right now. We've got the one red bud here, the other red bud here. Our water access is right there, so we have to be mindful of that. So I don't know, should I just widen the ring around the trees and maybe plant some annuals or perennials around here? Or I don't know. This is one of those spots where I'm just kind of like stuck. So if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. And then over here on the other side of our driveway, we have about a 3-foot strip right here from the end of the brick wall all the way down to the sidewalk. And right along the center, our downspouts are buried. And again, this is another area where Mo likes to set up his tables and tools and work on his cars or our cars or whatnot. So again, I can't really plant anything huge that would take up the space, but I would like to do something here that would be pretty and wouldn't get in Mo's way. I was thinking about maybe installing like 5 concrete pads all the way back to the wall and putting those big huge terracotta pots that we picked up last year on clearance over here, and then just filling them up with annuals. That way we have something pretty to look at, and there's enough space in between for Mo to set up his little work table and we won't get in his way. What do you guys think about that idea? Again, if you have any other ideas or suggestions, let me know. I'm open to hearing them all. This bed is pretty much full, other than probably just shifting some of the buddleias back a little bit and just tweaking a few of the perennials here. This bed is pretty much set. It's full, it's lush. I'm very happy with it. So those are a few of the ideas that I have swirling around in my head. I don't have any like time frame or timeline for it. Again, most of what I would like to do depends on the shed and the timing of the shed, other than smothering the grass where the lesser celandine is in the backyard along the back fence. That I think we can do maybe later this summer or early fall. But the rest of the stuff, there's no rush for it. This is just ideas that I have in my head of what I would like to see this space become or turn into. And I'm kind of bouncing my ideas off of you guys and welcoming any suggestions you guys have, because that's what our community is, sharing and exchanging information. So anyways, guys, if you have any ideas, any thoughts, let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.